close your eyes for a second. Um, I want you to really put yourself in a car.
Okay.
It's late, past midnight. We're in July 2025.
Yeah.
You're driving on this desolate stretch of road connecting two cities near Eyüp Sultan in Turkey.
Oh, right. That's basically the middle of nowhere.
Exactly. It's one of those roads that feels like it exists in a vacuum.
Yeah.
You know, there are no streetlights, no gas stations. It's just the hum of your engine and your high beams cutting this tiny tunnel through the pitch black.
It's the kind of isolation that really plays tricks on your mind. You become hyper aware of everything out there, the shadows, the silence.
Yeah.
It's a place where secrets are very easily kept.
It is. And on this particular night, there's a driver navigating this blacktop. He's tired, probably just wants to get home to his bed. But then his headlights sweep across the shoulder of the road.
Right.
And something breaks the pattern of dirt and dry grass.
Something that shouldn't be there.
Exactly. It's a suitcase.
So we're not talking about a discarded bag of trash, right?
No. A large, hard-shell travel suitcase, just standing there upright.
Wow.
It's so wildly out of place that he slows down. Now, I mean, most of us. We keep driving.
Oh, absolutely.
We've all seen horror movies. We know nothing good happens when you stop for a mysterious package on a dark road.
You step on the gas and you lock the doors.
Right. But this driver, he actually stops. He reverses the car. He leaves the engine running, so the scene just illuminated in these harsh red taillights, and he steps out.
I think about that specific moment a lot, actually. The battle between human curiosity and the basic instinct to flee.
Yeah.
He walks toward it, and before he can even reach out to touch the zipper, the air completely changes.
It's the smell. It hits him like a physical blow.
Yeah.
It's thick. It's sweet and metallic. It's the smell of something that was once alive and is now, well, not.
That's the biological alarm bell right there.
Yeah.
The olfactory system is wired directly to the fear center of the brain. He didn't even need to open it to know he was standing next to death.
He doesn't open it. He scrambles back to his car, locks the doors, and calls security forces.
Smart move.
Very. And when they finally arrive, when they finally unzip that casing under the harsh glare of police floodlights, they confirm the absolute nightmare. Inside is the body of a young woman.
It's just horrific.
And I want to be respectful to the victim here, but we do have to understand the gravity of this crime for this deep dive. She hasn't just been killed.
Yeah.
She has been violently tortured. She's mutilated, unrecognizable without forensics.
Which tells us so much right away. This wasn't a crime of passion. This wasn't a momentary loss of control.
Right.
The state of the body suggested time. It suggested that the perpetrator actually enjoyed the process. It was this calculated, sadistic cruelty, all packed into a suitcase and left for a complete stranger to find.
And here's the thing that truly chills me to the bone. This suitcase, found on this lonely road in July 2025, wasn't just a murder scene.
It was a key.
Yes. It was the piece of evidence that would unlock a terrifying pattern, connecting a cold case from 2 years prior to, a devil who had been hiding in plain sight.
A devil wearing a very specific, very trusted disguise.
Today, we are deep diving into the story of Aisha Tokyaz. We're going to unpack how a young woman with massive dreams was hunted by a man named Semil Kos.
And we're going to talk about how a simple pair of shoes left outside an apartment door became the most haunting symbol of a sister's intuition.
So let's rewind. Before the suitcase, before that dark road, there was just a girl with a plan. Flashback to about a year prior. Aisha Tokyaz, she's in her early 20s.
Just starting her life.
Exactly. She moves to Istanbul with her sister, Esra.
And I think that dynamic between the two sisters is so crucial to understanding how this tragedy unfolds.
Tell me about it.
Well, you have Esra, who is essentially the anchor. She's extremely pragmatic. She's studying nursing, keeping her head down, completely focused on survival and stability in this massive new city.
And then you have Ice. She's also studying nursing. She's incredibly smart. But she's the kite.
Right.
She's the dreamer. She looks at Istanbul and sees a stage. She wants to be a model. Maybe an actress. She wants to be seen.
Which is honestly a very dangerous desire in a city of millions if you don't have the right filter.
Yeah.
She's doing what any young creative does today. She's building a brand. She's active on social media, posting photos, basically casting a net into the digital ocean, hoping for a big break.
But the terrifying problem is you don't get to choose what swims into your net.
No, you don't.
One day, she checks her direct messages, and there's a message from a stranger. His name is Semil Kos.
Now, normally we talk about stranger danger. If a random guy with a faceless avatar messages you, you block him, you ignore it.
Obviously. But Samil didn't look like a threat.
He looked like the absolute opposite of a threat. And this is where the psychology of influence really comes into play. What was his profile picture?
He is wearing a police uniform. He looks sharp, authoritative, well-groomed. He's 38 years old, so he has that mature, I've got my life together vibe.
Yeah.
He messages her saying, hey, I'm a neighbor. I live in Istanbul, too. I've seen your profile, and I'm a fan.
Let's just pause on that uniform for a second. This leverages what psychologists call the halo effect, or authority bias.
Right.
We are socially conditioned, literally from kindergarten, to associate that specific uniform with safety, with law and order, and with inherent morality.
It's a cognitive shortcut. We see the badge, and our brain just fills in the rest. Oh, he's vetted, he's a protector, he is safe.
Precisely. If a random guy at a bar hits on you, your guard goes up. If a police officer does it, you actually feel chosen. You feel safer than you did before he even walked over.
Wow.
He completely bypasses the natural skepticism that young women have to develop just to survive online.
And he plays the role perfectly. They start talking. He's not aggressive at all. He actually positions himself as a mentor.
Right.
He tells her, look, Istanbul is a dangerous city for a beautiful girl like you. I have connections. I can help you with your modeling career. I can keep you safe.
He is identifying her vulnerabilities, her ambition, and her newness to the city and offering himself as the bridge to everything she wants. It is classic textbook grooming.
And it works.
Yeah.
They finally meet for coffee. And then the accelerator gets smashed straight to the floor. On that very first date, Samil proposes marriage.
Whoa, okay, stop.
Yeah.
That is a siren-level red flag. In clinical terms, we call this love bombing.
It's overwhelming.
It's an overwhelming amount of affection, promises, and commitment dumped on the target before they even have time to process who this person actually is.
Right.
It's designed to sweep you completely off your feet so you don't look down and see the trapdoor opening beneath you.
Well, Aisha's completely swept. She goes home to Ezra, floating on a cloud. She says, I met the one. He's a cop. He wants to marry me.
And Ezra,
the pragmatic sister, is horrified. She's telling her, you met him one time. Focus on your nursing degree. This is total insanity.
Ezra is the external voice of reason. She sees the disruption to their lives. But Aisha is blinded by the persona.
Yeah.
She doesn't see a stranger. She sees a shortcut to the stable, glamorous life she desperately wants. So she ignores the warning.
She dives right in. But as the relationship deepens, the dynamic shifts. It quickly stops being, I can help you, and starts being, you need to do what I say.
The control starts creeping in.
Exactly. He starts isolating her. He tells her they can't be seen in public anymore. They have to meet at his apartment.
Because isolation is step one of coercive control. You have to separate the victim from the herd. But he needs a plausible reason, right? He can't just say, I'm wildly controlling.
So he spins this incredible action movie lie. He tells her, I'm not just a regular beat cop. I'm deep cover.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He says, I work for secret intelligence. I have highly dangerous enemies. If we are ever seen together outside, it puts a literal target on your back.
It's actually brilliant in a totally twisted way. It reframes his abusive, isolating behavior into a heroic sacrifice.
Right. If he's paranoid, it's the job.
Exactly. If he has weird, unpredictable hours, it's the job. If he keeps her locked away in his apartment, he's actively protecting her.
It creates a false reality where questioning him actually makes her feel ungrateful.
No.
But the reality is much seedier. Aisha starts spending a lot of time at his apartment, and this secret agent mask starts to crack.
What does she see?
Well, she overhears phone calls. And they aren't discussing national security.
Right.
They're discussing drug deals. They're using rough criminal street slang. She sees the company keeps coming in and out. These aren't fellow officers. They're thugs.
That is the moment of cognitive dissonance breaking.
Yes.
She realizes the uniform is just a costume. He isn't a protector. He's a complete fraud. And that is statistically the most dangerous moment for a victim when the narcissist realizes their mirror has been broken.
Aisha tries to get out. She calls him and says, I can't do this anymore. We need to break up.
And how does he react?
The charm, it vanishes. Just instantly. There's no more I love you. It switches to pure terror.
Yeah.
He tells her, if you leave me, you die. And not just you. I will kill Ezra. I'll kill your whole family. I have connections everywhere. You can't hide from me.
This creates a psychological prison. She technically has the physical ability to walk out the door, but he has built a massive wall of fear around her.
Right.
She stays not because she loves him anymore, but because she's actively trying to keep her sister alive. It's a hostage situation, just without the iron
And
bars.
to prove he's serious, it gets physical. She meets him to try and de-escalate the situation, and he brutally beats her.
Oh, no.
She comes home to Ezra, covered in bruises. Ezra sees it. She finally knows the truth. But they are both totally paralyzed because they still believe part of the lie.
That he has the power of the state behind him.
Exactly. They think the police won't help them because he is the police.
That is the ultimate tragedy here. The institution that is supposed to save you is the very thing you think you're running from. Or at least, that's the illusion he forced them to believe.
Aisha feels the walls closing in on her. She knows the clock is ticking. So she does something incredibly brave, but incredibly tragic. She turns to the audience she built online.
Oh, right.
She posts a video to her social media followers.
A digital last will and testament.
It is so haunting. She looks directly into the camera and says, "I know I'm going to die soon."
Wow.
She doesn't name him yet, but she promises, in my next video, I'm going to reveal the name of the man doing this to me.
She was trying to buy insurance. She thought the threat of public exposure would make him back off.
Right.
But with a malignant narcissist like Samil, that kind of public defiance often triggers what we call a narcissistic injury.
A narcissistic injury.
Yeah, it's a profound ego wound that demands immediate, violent retaliation. She sped up his timeline without even knowing it.
1 hour. That's all it took.
It's just 1 hour.
1 hour after that video goes live, Samil texts her. But he's not raging. He's soft. He says, "Aisha, I saw the video. I am so sorry. I realize I've hurt you psychologically. I will leave you alone, I promise. Just come over one last time so I can give you your things and we can say goodbye properly."
The closure trap.
Yeah.
It is quite literally the most lethal tactic in domestic abuse cases. Just one last talk. It weaponizes the victim's own empathy against them.
It's July 9, 2025. Aisha tells Ezra she's going over to end it for good. She goes to his apartment at 6:00 p.m. By 7:00 p.m., she stops answering her calls.
And Ezra knows that gut feeling, that intuition that had been screaming at her for months, it is now a deafening alarm.
Ezra rushes to Samil's building. She runs up the stairs to his apartment. And this next detail, this is the scene that just keeps me awake at night.
Tell me.
She gets to the door, she's totally out of breath, and she looks down at the welcome mat. And there, neatly placed right outside the door, are Aisha's shoes.
Okay, we really need to contextualize this for everyone listening. In Turkish culture, like many cultures in that region, taking your shoes off before entering a home isn't just polite, it's mandatory. It's an automatic reflex.
Yeah.
Seeing their shoes there meant one thing definitively. Aisha was inside that apartment. She was right there.
Ezra starts banging on the door. She is screaming Aisha's name. And Samil doesn't open it. He speaks through the solid wood.
What does he say?
He's totally calm. He says, "Ezra, go home. Aisha left an hour ago. I walked her to the supermarket."
He is literally gaslighting her through a locked door. He's asking her to disbelieve the evidence of her own eyes.
Ezra screams back, "You're lying. Her shoes are right here. She wouldn't leave barefoot."
Right.
And Samil, just cool as ice, replies, "Oh, she must have had a second pair in her bag. I don't know. She's gone."
Imagine the pure terror of that moment. You are separated from your sister by 3 inches of wood. You physically see the proof of her presence. You probably sense the danger radiating out from that apartment.
Oh, absolutely.
But the social contract, the locked door, stops you.
Ezra runs straight to the police station. She's frantic. She tells them he has her. Her shoes are at the door. You have to go in.
And do they?
The police go to the apartment. They knock. No answer. And here is where the entire system grinds to a devastating halt. They don't kick the door down. They leave.
Listeners are going to be screaming at their speakers right now. Why would they leave?
It's maddening.
It comes down to a legal concept called exigent circumstances. Legally speaking, a pair of shoes sitting outside a door isn't definitive proof of a crime currently in progress.
Even with her screaming that she's in there.
Yes, because he could just claim she left them there yesterday. Without hearing screams from inside, without seeing blood in the hallway, the police felt they didn't have the legal authority to breach the dwelling without a warrant.
Wow.
It is a massive gap in the law that smart predators know exactly how to exploit.
And exploited he did. By the time they finally get a warrant and forcefully enter that apartment, it's 3 days later. Aisha is gone. The shoes are gone.
But I'm guessing the apartment wasn't exactly how he left it.
Not at all. It looks wrong. It has been freshly painted. Every single wall.
Wow.
and the air is so thick, just choking with the smell of these industrial chemical air fresheners.
He was scrubbing the scene. He was trying to chemically mask the scent of death, the exact smell we talked about at the beginning of this deep dive, with lavender and bleach.
Meanwhile, out in Nayib Sultan, that driver finds the suitcase on the desolate road. Forensics run the DNA, and it confirms the worst. It's Aisha.
Now, with a body, the police finally have real leverage.
Exactly. They immediately pull the CCTV footage from Semil's apartment building, and they strike gold.
What did they see?
They find footage of Semil and two of his friends, members of that criminal gang he was actually running with, struggling to carry a heavy, hard-shell suitcase out to a car.
The evidence is just overwhelming at this point. The fresh paint, the video footage, the body itself, he is totally cornered.
But does he confess? Does he show an ounce of remorse? No. He completely pivots.
Of course he does.
He spins a brand new narrative. He sits in the interrogation room and tells them, okay, yes, she was here, but I didn't kill her.
Right.
He says she came over, she was high on drugs, she was completely drunk, she tripped on the stairs, fell, hit her head, and died. I just panicked because I was scared, so he hid the body.
The accidental overdose defense, it is highly calculated.
So.
If he can introduce doubt, if he can legally prove she was intoxicated, he changes the entire trajectory of the trial. He shifts the charge from premeditated murder down to accidental death and improper disposal of a body.
Which carries a much lighter sentence.
Much, much lighter. It's the difference between life behind bars and being out in a few years.
And here's the darkest twist of this entire story. This excuse wasn't just an improvisation in the interrogation room.
Oh.
It was a script he had successfully used before.
Yes. This is exactly why we mentioned a pattern earlier. 2 years prior to Aisha's murder, in a city called Diyarbakir, there was another woman. Her name was Aisha Vazova.
Right.
She died after falling from Semil's balcony.
From his balcony.
Yeah.
And he just walked free.
He used the exact same defense. He told police she was drunk, she slipped, it was a tragic accident.
Unbelievable.
And in that specific case, the forensics actually showed she did have alcohol in her system. Because there were no witnesses to the fall, it was literally his word against a dead woman's.
And that doubt was enough.
The doubt was enough. He was released entirely for lack of evidence.
So he moved to Istanbul, put on that fake police uniform for his profile picture, and thought, I have the perfect blueprint for murder. If anything ever goes wrong, I'll just blame drugs and a clumsy fall.
He genuinely thought he was smarter than the justice system. He thought he could out-manipulate science itself.
But this time, science fought back. The autopsy and toxicology results for Aisha finally came in, and they were the definitive smoking gun.
Let me guess.
They tested for everything. Alcohol, 0. Drugs, 0.
That single toxicology report completely destroyed his entire narrative.
Gone.
The she was high story was a provable lie. What about the physical injuries?
The medical examiner found deep internal bleeding and highly specific wounds that were consistent with prolonged intentional torture. Not a quick tumble down the stairs. The body told the absolute truth that Semil was trying so hard to hide.
It shattered his defense completely.
It really did. And as the investigation deepened, the final pieces of his mask completely fell away. It turns out he actually had been a police officer once, many years ago.
Keyword, there being had been.
Yes.
He was expelled, fired 5 years prior for severe bad conduct. He wasn't a deep cover hero. He was a complete disgrace to the uniform he was still wearing in his online pictures.
So the uniform was just a relic, a prop he used to hunt.
It was a psychological tool to regain the power he lost. Narcissists simply cannot handle a loss of status.
Right.
So he created this elaborate fantasy world where he was still powerful, still dangerous, still deep cover, and he systematically pulled Aisha into that dark fantasy just to destroy her.
It is terrifying to realize just how fragile our trust really is. You know, we see a JPEG on a tiny screen and we just hand over our safety.
That is the core lesson here for everyone listening. In the digital age, trust but verify just isn't enough anymore. You have to actively verify before you even begin to trust.
Yeah.
Predators, exactly like Semil, know precisely how to hack our social instincts. They know we want to believe in authority. They weaponize our respect.
So where does the case stand right now?
Semil and his accomplices are currently in custody. They're facing trial for premeditated murder.
Good.
And with the DNA, the CCTV footage of the suitcase, and that crucial toxicology report proving his accident story was a complete fabrication. Legal experts strongly believe he will never walk free again. The system that tragically failed Isiyavazova 2 years ago finally caught up to him.
It's just a profound tragedy that it took a second victim to finally stop him.
It is. But we really have to remember Icy's immense bravery in that final week.
Her video.
Yes, that video she posted, it galvanized the public. It put millions of eyes on the case immediately. She didn't survive, but she actively made sure her killer couldn't hide in the dark anymore.
We're going to leave you with that haunting image today. The shoes on the welcome mat.
Yeah.
It's a heartbreaking symbol of how incredibly close Ezra was to saving her sister. But it's also a vital reminder to all of us. Sometimes something just looks wrong. A suitcase standing on a dark road. A pair of shoes exactly where they shouldn't be.
Your intuition is an ancient, hardwired survival mechanism. If your gut screams that this isn't right, don't let social politeness or a locked door stop you. Make the noise. Break the door down.
Listen to that voice.
Yeah.
And here's one final thought to mull over. What if the most dangerous predators out there aren't hiding in the dark alleys? What if they're the ones we've been conditioned since childhood to run toward for help?
Something to think about.
Thanks for deep diving with us. We'll see you next time.